Wooded cliffs overlook the community, and the only path from the north descends past the ivory-covered remnants of a crumbling stone keep. The village's modest wooden buildings cluster around a quaint central circle and along the riverbank. Jutting into the river, out of place and seemingly out of time, stands an incomplete stone bridge of incredible artisanship. The structure clearly dates to before the cataclysm, eclipsing its modern piers in size and sturdiness. The bridge crosses less than half the river's width before giving way to a series of ropes and tethered rafts serving as ferries. On the river itself, dozens of small boats drift along the slow, murky waters as the fishers of Vogler ply their trade. So, the three of you, Darcy, Blaze, and Romer, walk through the river gate, and you cannot help but notice that not far behind you, I want to say maybe like 100 or 200 feet away, are another strange pair of individuals who are clearly arriving to Vogler.
What the fuck?
Pays literally no mind to you.
Yeah, I'm literally not even acknowledging them. I don't know who the fuck these people are. I don't even want to be with Marcus right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Just being honest. Just being
Okay.
honest.
not my problem.
Well,
You're the one walking the same direction I am, so following me. How about that?
You are welcome to move. As a note, at the same time, right now, on the opposite end of town, Lunaris, you are finishing up your work for the day. It is not quite evening, but it is kind of approaching. I want to say that if we were to give it a time, it's probably close to like 4 or 5 p.m. And you have been working since morning. Not since sunrise, but since morning. And so you have gotten a lot of work done, and finally your working day is over. And you are able to go about your own business. That being said, you remember receiving a request from someone who you are acquaintances with. You wouldn't say you're friends. You don't really talk to them or hang out with them much, but like you know them. They're a local, and they have requested that you come to the Brass Crab, as several people are going to meet there, not just yourself.
Okay. Yeah. I think at the end of their work shift, Lunaris is has their hair tied up as tight as it can be, and is cleaning up before just kind of slumping down. Immediately tugs out the 20 ponytails and letting their hair poof back out. Where it's okay. I think they probably live close to the docks, so they honestly just go home really quickly and get changed, and then are just kind of immediately going to the Brass Crab to BH.
Sure. Meanwhile, the rest of you're new to this place. You've never been here before. So what do you do?
Yes, we walk in first.
So yes, you can do that, and you are allowed to move your tokens.
Where are we?
Oh, really?
Yeah, where's our
Where specifically?
Where's this gay little service at?
You have a letter.
Oh, right, the letter.
That is
Opens my letter.
true.
Someone should punch him, please. Where is it?
Who said that?
It is pinned in the server.
It's also
if
in
you're-
chat.
It is also a
Brass
handout
crab.
in chapter 2, Prelude.
But
Brass
actually,
It's in
crab.
chapter 3.
I don't have a single clue where the brass crab is.
Here in
Lumber
Volder,
time.
the eve of the Kingfisher Festival.
Is there a
brass
way I can?
Accommodations will be
I'm
available.
gonna start here.
Crash crew.
Is there a way I could go to like a random person standing about
Yeah.
be like, hey,
Ooh.
hey,
You see a sort of middle-aged, portly man. He's got very fluffy orange hair and a nice mustache. He says, "Oh, hi there. How can I help you?"
pardon me,
You're a
citizen.
pagan, aren't you?
That's crab shaped.
Yes, I am. Do you by chance know where the brass crab is?
Sure do. You have like sprinted across town, by the way, Rosanna.
Sorry,
I don't know what you're doing.
Rosanna was immediately like, I'll just walk around until I find something that says brass crab.
All right, I will get back to you in a second then.
Okay.
I would also like to ask if Romer is sticking with Darcy and Blaze, or if Romer is just doing
Roaming.
whatever, just roaming.
Roaming. Romer's
I
roaming.
think, yeah, they are sticking with Darcy and Blaze in the sense that I think they kind of unintentionally drift sometimes and then gravitate back over there.
Yes, like orbit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly because they don't. I don't know if it's been verbalized while they're in the same vicinity that we are going to the same location. It would be funny
Correct.
if we just kept splitting up and asking for directions and then regrouping and being like, "Yeah, I'm not sure
Wait a
where I'm
minute.
going yet." Anyway,
Yeah.
Oh,
He says, sure thing. Go down this long main road. Don't turn towards the village circle quite yet. Just head on south, and eventually you'll be near the wharf. And if you look that way, and he points towards the east, should be able to see a big, vaguely crab-shaped building.
Wonderful. I don't
Crab-shaped.
remember which way is east.
awesome. Let's.
Well, he
east
pointed.
is right.
He did point.
He didn't say the word east. This is over the table. He pointed east.
Wonderful.
He just said, go down this big long road, and then once you're near the wharf, go east and look for the vaguely.
Oh my gosh, I
crab-shaped
see it.
building.
It is shaped like a crab. Oh my gosh, it's shaped like a crab.
Thank you so very much for your instructions. Begins walking.
Sure thing. Are you here for the Kingfisher Festival?
No, I'm actually here for a funeral.
Okay.
All right, and he strokes his mustache. Old Lisbon, good man he was. Didn't know him too well, but he came by often enough. He will be missed.
Wow.
My condolences to you, and I do suggest you stick around for the festival. Isbin participated every year.
Ooh, looks down at Blaze. A festival.
Festival.
I know we're here for a sad reason, but if Ispin would want it, then maybe we should do it.
Agree, I do. Not.
Wonderful.
Fucking took
I
damage.
would like for you, Rosanna, to roll me a perception check.
Sure thing.
Oh,
Perception. The
Oh,
first
no.
real roll, everybody.
Why are you knowing?
Sorry, I think it's funny. My first thought when hearing you say Rosanna roll perception and seeing Rosanna standing right next to Romer made me
Smirks.
think,
I
no.
looked
I
down. I got 15.
15. All right. Eventually, just by wandering, you sort of end up straying closer to the sea than anything else.
Yeah, I went
and
like.
sure enough,
Hold on, I'm making up a path, and then I just go like. Hold on, I'm still
sure
going.
enough, you wind up at the Brass Crab. Marcus, what are you doing?
I
Oh my
made
God,
friends
that's
with
the thing.
Romer and their party, and I've been just following them around.
You just walked up to Darcy and Blaze and Romer and said, "Hey, can I stick with you?"
I was like, hey, what's up? I was like, hey, do you know where the brass crab is? And Omer's like, do you? And I'm like, nah, I just got.
Oh, was this in
I just got
the?
here."
Okay,
Yeah,
this
we
was
did
in
that in
the
the chat.
chat. Okay. I was like, I don't remember this.
Yeah, no, a conversation was had.
Like, hey,
That
what's
would
up,
be
guys?
very
And
funny
I'm like,
though.
oh, wow.
Gabe just making
The
up
funeral.
conversations. I would like that. That's pretty cool.
Just lying.
Okay.
Darcy notices that like suddenly another person has appeared that's like following them, and she turns to Blaze and she goes, "We seem to be attracting a lot of weird stray creatures."
Yeah.
They pat you on the shoulder and they just say, "Natural charisma."
Me?
It's the disco ball.
Oh,
It's the disco ball. Follow the beam.
it does a little gay
Where?
blush.
Oh my god, I see it.
Follow the beacon.
Follow the beacon.
Reflective.
Oh my god,
Brass
this bird
crab.
has legs. Sorry.
A modest building, a single story. Its exterior very vaguely resembles its namesake. You can hear, even from outside, people eating, drinking, and talking. And right now, the person closest to the actual front door is currently Rosanna.
Hi. Rose is just like stands outside for like at least a good 20 seconds before actually opening the
Whoa.
door.
Oh my god, that's fucking menacing.
like
Holy
she's
shit.
like she's loading.
You're
And she's
above
got her
the
helmet
building.
on, so
Mm.
she's just
Dude.
like she's just walking around with her fucking big ass helmet.
She's
Good
waiting for it
God.
to open on its own, and then it doesn't.
Aw.
No, well, sure.
Just like those grocery stores.
That's like that
Just
at
like
my
those
store.
grocery
We've had
stores.
customers just wait at our door and they're like, "Oh."
If you're standing at the front door and just fucking waiting, that would give everybody else enough time to approach. If
Oh
that
yeah.
is, I'm just going to move tokens based on how quickly I think you would move.
By all means.
Oh,
Wee.
that's Lunaris. And then if we want to make you guys just a cluster, it would be.
Aw, friendship. Oh my god.
There.
There's so many doors in this building.
Well, a number of these are windows.
Which ones are windows?
The ones that have a little bit of
Oh.
like bluish to them.
Oh, I didn't realize.
It's a
that
bit
was
hard to
thing.
see. I
Yeah.
tried my best to cut out stuff. Either way, you step inside, and the four of you would notice this strange helmed figure with a big ol' lance on their back push into the brass crab. And Lunaris, you would notice a group of four strange-looking people walking towards the front entrance.
They're here for the convention.
The convention.
The Ipswich convention.
Ispin convention.
Ispin Con.
It's Ispin
We're all gonna
times.
dress up like
Everyone
Ispin.
come in your Ispin cosplay.
I come in as a cardboard casket.
I'm
Oh.
so mean. Darcy's gonna hold open the door for everyone.
Oh, can I move?
Very polite.
Oh my gosh, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you also hold the door open for this strange blue person that is approaching?
Yes, of course.
As a note, as an important note, you guys have been traveling for a while, and you have had to travel through settlements and past people and things like that, and everywhere you have gone, things have been a little bit quiet when it comes to the people that you interact with. They kind of just, like, you do business with them, and they seem like they want to just get you through the business as quickly as possible and get you out of their hair as soon as they can. And they have not
Go
been
through a window.
particularly hospitable. Vogler is a different story. Regardless of your differing species or strange appearances, people have offered welcome, smiles and waves. They have not been like stopping you on the streets or anything, but you can tell that they are regarding you with a far more polite and friendly demeanor than basically anywhere else you've been that isn't just your home.
That's so
This is so funny.
Are you jumping through the windows?
I can't get through the door.
Open.
This
You-
door's
I
not
can
supposed to
only
be
go through the
open.
window.
What?
Is it what?
Dude, no.
Oh,
what
did
are you
you
talking
block-
about?
oh, Al-
Oscar's holding the door.
I know, but I thought Josh didn't unlock the door yet.
I also can't
Oh my
go through
God.
the door.
Oh
Thought I fixed
no.
it.
this
Jump to the
Oh,
window.
I fixed it.
That's really
I
funny.
thought I had fixed that.
Window gang.
Sorry.
That's
Window
really funny.
gang.
What the hell?
I think when Darcy keeps the door open for Lunaris, like Lunaris like pauses for a second and like looks over their shoulder at Darcy and like it's like oh thank you. Keeps walking.
Darcy does a gay little bow.
Does a gay little bow for you as well.
Okay.
All gay people.
Oh.
Sorry.
Round. Help. Deck. You enter. It is not super busy, honestly. It's pretty mid as things go. But it is a nice atmosphere. As you look around, you notice that at the very center is a sort of bar-ish area. And there is a human woman who is tending to it. You also see that on one wall of this common room, there is a faded mural of what look like two enormous crabs locked in combat, inlaid with brass details. As you look around, one of you, who is a local to this place, notices the person who called you here. And that person notices this entire group of weirdos walk in and seems to chuckle to herself before doing her best to beckon you all over.
Yeah,
that's
I'd like to go over.
Sorry, what happened? Where is he? Oh, that person.
Tentatively tries to step around everyone because I'm so fucking huge.
I'm just gonna.
Hello.
She's after you.
Hello. Yalme, and the woman behind the bar kind of perks up. Would you mind if we push together a couple of tables? And Yalme just shrugs and says, "Go for it." And so that is what occurs, considering there's not too many people in here. You find that you are able to push together a couple of tables, and this woman says, "Hello, everyone. Please sit, and welcome to Vogler. You are Lunaris, right?
That would be correct.
Right. Good. I know we have encountered one another once or twice. As for the rest of you, I know that is not something we quite have done. Oh. And she kind of turns and looks to the side. Excuse me, would you happen to be Rosanna?
Rosanna like lifts her head to like look at her, and then sort of looks around the bar as if there's other people here. Before she just huffs and nods.
If you would, could you please come join us? I'm not quite as hale and hearty as I used to be, and I'm not sure my voice can carry. Hello, everyone.
Nudge.
Pleasure to make all of your acquaintance. I've heard fine things from our dear departed friend. My name is Becklin Uthviaren, and I have known Ispin for a long, long time. You all received my letter, right?
That would be correct.
Nods my head.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm muted. I'm looking for.
Oh,
there we go.
she's a knight! Oh my god, heart.
Points.
It's
John-
Becklin!
Was this? Yeah. Was this not? Yeah.
Oh, that Oh! Oh! Points.
Yeah.
Points my finger. Points my fingy.
Spindly finger.
It's Becklin.
Becklin was one of the characters that was played in the prologue.
I need to turn on my fan. Excuse me one moment.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, man.
A bit hot in here.
Just have a person fanning her in the background.
This.
A set of
Turn on my
trousers
fan.
made from
Snaps my
I
fingers.
would do it.
Summons a
I
little
would do
boy.
it. I would do it for her. I would do it for her.
And you do it for her.
Foremost, I offer my condolences to each of you. I know
Whoa.
each of you had a connection to Ispin, and I share in your grief.
Nods along.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Lunaris is just kind of quietly nodding too.
Nudge as well.
We all just be nodding.
Right. So, later this evening is going to be our service for Ispin. We will have our funeral, our departure, and after that we will meet back here to honor Ispin's life, celebrate it. And I expect many here will share stories over tables about him, like the inflated tales he was known for sharing. You need not participate in the story sharing, but I would encourage it. He seemed particularly fond of each of you.
Points at me.
Well, yes. He spent a good deal of the last of his life here in Vogler, where I live. And, well, towards the end of his days, you were the ones he would talk about. I only know a bit about each of you, but I trust that he befriended you for good reason, and I can see that you are equipped much as he was for traveling the world. If you have any further need of me, I will be at the funeral, of course, and at the service, but I also live in the keep up on the hill, just nearby. Otherwise, I suppose I will see you shortly.
Of course. What time? Do you know what time it starts?
Once the sun begins to set is when we will have our send-off.
Hey, Josh.
Okay.
Josh.
What?
Duly
Rosanna's already
noted.
leaving. I've already.
Oh.
She's already going.
Is she just going out the door?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Right. You would
Watches.
hear calling after you. Are you alright, Miss Rosanna?
Nope, she's still going. She's out of here.
Watches.
There she goes.
They watch you go, and you like the door shuts behind you, and they sort of like jerk their thumb back, like, "What's the deal with that guy?"
Get over
What's the
that
deal
guy.
with airline food?
Coins, are they okay?
Are they
Hopefully
okay?
we will see them later.
Well, you know that grief shows itself in different ways.
This is very true. I have
Very strange.
made
place.
reservations to allow each of you to stay here in the Brass Crab. Those of you who do not have a home here in Vogler, that is. I do not expect you to force yourselves to march even further after all the way you've came, so feel free to stay the night in a warm and cozy bed. And if you would be so inclined, we do have the Kingfisher Festival tomorrow. A festival to honor the history of Vogler. I am sure it will be enjoyable, so if you would be so interested, it would be nice to have you here for it.
Okay.
No nods.
Lunaris gives a nod and just kind of stands up and says, "Do you need me to go get them?" And tell her the rooming.
I think she will be here for the service, and I shall tell her then.
Okay. Well, looks at the other 4 people.
Looks up at you.
If you all need a tour or anything, I would be happy to show you around before the service starts.
Walks over. I love to see places.
Looks over at
Would not
Darcy.
be a bad idea. If you're going to stick around any longer than the service, it would behoove you to know where you are and where you're going.
I guess it wouldn't hurt, right? Looks down at Blaze.
Gets hurt.
Oh. They nod, yeah.
Goodbye to you all, and thank you, truly, for being here.
Of course.
Thanks for the room.
Indeed.
Many thanks.
And so you head off. Welcome to Vogler. I don't know where Rosanna plans to be,
Fuck,
but I am
man.
going to cluster everyone else together.
Fuck, man, I wish I knew.
You have just visited the Brass Crab. There are a number of locations here and there. I'm not going to have you guys put your tokens on all of them. I'm just going to kind of have you move around on this map and then kind of show things off and explain all that. So, as far as notable locations go in Vogler, there are a few. Aside from the Brass Crab, of course, you've got the Village Circle, nearby which are both the mayor's home and the Fishbowl, a restaurant known for its delicious and savory fish pies. There's also the wharf and the market attached to it, as well as Vogler's Crossing, the bridge that predates the Cataclysm. Last but not least is Thornwall Keep, which is the keep that Becklin said she lives in. Do you care what order you take people around in, or?
I don't think they do. They just kind of like they just do it by order of where we're walking.
Sure. Village Circle first, then.
Dang, there's a lot of maps here.
So many
The
maps.
Circle is a lovely place. You can see that there is a very big and very old-looking tree in the center of the Village Circle. as well as a few homes, shops, and a grassy patch surrounding the tree. And then, of course, the dirt road branches off in varying directions. People are here talking, sort of going to different stalls and shops, and setting up these strings of flags and decorations you expect for the festival tomorrow.
Oh,
That
right.
tree is like how in Animal Crossing New Leaf, you plant a tree when you first get there, and then the
Yes.
tree grows.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
That's
wait.
cute.
I like that.
As Lunaris walks, I think they don't stop walking, but they kind of slow down and kind of look over their shoulder, and they're like, I just realized this is so impolite. My name is Lunaris.
Hello, my friend. It's so very nice to meet you. Puts a hand out to shake your hand.
He just like takes one hand out from behind like his back and shakes your hand.
It shakes your hand so hard that
You
your whole
just you're shaking them a little bit, but they're just smiling still, coolly.
Oh my god.
So epic.
My name is Darcy, and this is my friend Blaze. The Blaze also works as my retainer. The Blaze is my friend first and retainer second.
Okay. Hello
Aw.
there. Hello there, Knight Darcy and retainer/friend Blaze.
Greetings.
And this one puts my hand over Romer, like Romer's like my sort of creature.
My 5-year-old child.
This is my newly
My child.
accepted friend, Romer.
So,
Hello there, Roman.
But I actually don't know what this one is. Points at Marcus.
Hello. Stands their hand on my hip, waves.
Waves.
Do you have a name? Oh, I see.
Well, it's good to meet you then, Marcus. Puts my hand right behind my back again.
oh, no handshake for you.
Actually, not sure where Marcus came from. I turned around and it was here. Sorry, they were here.
Funnily enough, I was actually traveling with our masked friend that walked out of the tavern.
Ah.
Not the
Really?
entire way, mind you, but we
Is
met
she your
up around
friend?
halfways there, and then we just kind of realized that we were both headed in the same way.
Are they
She-
usually like that?
What?
Your acquaintance, are they always that quiet and also brooding?
I would assume so. That's how she was the entire time.
I see.
Dang.
Interesting.
Well, if we find her, then we'll add them back. I don't want. It's not really a bad place to get lost, but drugs.
It seems that individual may need some sort of assistance. Lucky for them, puts my hands on my hips.
Looks at you.
Chuckles.
It doesn't elaborate.
Lunaris is like watching as if waiting for a reaction, but then like when you don't, they just kind of slowly nod and turn back around. And walk in.
Ah, you're a therapist.
Well, if you see her, then just tell me and we'll walk over.
I'm not licensed yet.
Keep an eye out for her then.
Oh, yeah.
This is the warp.
Wharf, wharf. That's what a seal
I love
says.
this
We made it to the
Wharf,
wharf.
wharf.
Oh my god, I want to be here so bad. I'm gonna throw up.
The smell of salty water hits your nostrils, as do the sounds of various merchants plying their trade. It is not quite sundown yet, and so people are trying to squeeze in as much as they can while they can.
I think this is where Lunaris is typically. So he's like giving small like waves or nods to people.
I see. Next up this is the gate that you entered through, and nearby the keep. You're not sure if you're allowed in, considering Eklund, the person who lives there, is not currently there. You are able to see something strange on the top of it. This catapult-like contraption.
What's
Would
there?
I know what it is at Josh?
I would allow for you to roll me a history check with a fairly low DC.
Yes, sir, Josh. Dragon shooter. History.
That's what I think it is.
Well, I mean, I'm
Wow.
Alright. You hang out in sort of the southern end of town, not in the northern end of town.
Okay.
You don't get to know.
Yeah.
You're not sure? It looks like some sort of catapult.
Yeah, Lunaris just says, "This is a catapult," and then just doesn't elaborate.
Just yield catapult.
Perhaps they move people from one side of the town to the other by tossing them with the catapult.
Oh, we should try that with you.
You you say that and like Blaze does the most minute of a head shake, but they're standing slightly behind you so you don't see it. Doesn't say anything though.
That is an interesting theory, Darcy. You know, I would like to be transported around by a catapult.
If you ever need someone to test it out, well,
I'll
Just
put in a
let
good
me-
word for you.
Shakes my head a little bit more vigorously.
Looks
Here-
at Blaze shaking his head, looks back to Darcy. I will put in a really
Then
good word
there.
for you.
Here you find the old pre-cataclysm bridge. It is strangely beautiful in its appearance. You can see that the architecture is nothing like what you're used to seeing anywhere else, and in spite of wear and tear clearly having destroyed it to this degree, what remains still seems quite sturdy. And as you sort of walk along its flagstone flooring and gaze over the water, you can see what appears to be a fisherman rowing his boat kind of past and a bit underneath the bridge. And he notices you looking down and says, "Hoy there!" and continues along his way.
Waves.
Waves.
Waves as well.
Oh yeah. I'd
Eventually,
be so excited if I was in a boat and I waved at a group of people and like most of them waved back. I'd get
I
so
would be
excited.
so happy.
Being on a ferry is exactly that when you pass by another person also on a ferry, because everyone at the same time is like, "Holy shit, it's another boat!" and they run to the other side
so cute.
and wave at all each other.
I
That's
love
so
it.
cute.
It makes me so happy.
It always happens.
during
Very sweet.
your tour, you end up walking by this sort of horseshoe-shaped building that is only slightly larger than most of the other buildings in town, and you almost kind of instinctively walk by it a little bit more quickly, Lunaris, and with a little bit more just kind of like your face drops just a little bit.
What's
That's scary.
And you feel this way and do this thing because this is the West Side House. The West Side House, as it is referred to, is home of a local, what people very tentatively and hesitantly call a noble. He and his son moved here not too long ago, and they have not been the most fun to have around. They have a
Yeah.
decent amount of wealth, and that is accepted, and people are glad for that. But they don't seem to be too friendly of folk.
Dang.
I don't think Lunaris like even says like what the building is. They just keep walking casually,
Sure.
scuttles past it.
Gazes at it.
Eventually, your tour is just about done. You've explored all of the most important places here. Otherwise, it's mostly just homes, maybe a few shops here and there. And that's about it.
Stops walking, turns back towards people. I feel like, oh my god, I just feel like a Disney tour person, guys. Lunaris says, well, that's pretty much it. Do any of you have any questions?
They point at you.
Me?
You live where?
I live near the... Gosh.
I mean, I'll let you decide, but if you want to live like in this triangle here or something,
Yeah. What would you call that?
The triangle. Bermuda Triangle.
The town
I
triangle.
mean, you live near the wharf. Yeah.
I live near the wharf. I fish, so I live near the sea. Closer.
Enjoy fish? Points at you.
Yes. I do.
Nods sagely.
I
Says
would
nothing more.
fish too, drooling under my mask.
Well, you've all been very, guys, what is it called when you're like in a tour? Like the other people,
Uh-huh.
that's the tour guide. Guess?
Uh-huh.
Just like
I guess
guess.
Tourist.
Okay.
Tourist.
Well, you,
You can't call us tourists.
yeah, I'll say guess.
We're here because
Well,
of Goddamn.
you've all been excellent guests. If you ever come by the wharf and you see me, I might even give you a discount on some fish. If you want.
Yo.
Wow.
I would absolutely. Can I have a discount now?
I don't have any fish on me, but
Pats Darcy's arm sympathetically.
but you know,
Fish.
perhaps later tonight after the services, you may come by.
Wonderful.
Oh, so we will.
We need to pack up on food. So,
Well, the Brass Club has excellent food, and well, there's no shortage here. So.
Thank you so very much for your tour. It was very enlightening.
Yeah.
Bow.
True.
Gives a
Thumbs
bow
up.
back.
I would like to know what Rosanna has been doing.
I imagine that Rose has also been wandering around, but also like in the sense that when they leave a location, like we're doing it out of order of each other. You know what I mean?
That's
but
pretty
they don't
fair.
know. They don't know
Okay.
it. They don't know any information about it. But they're like, oh, this looks like a big important building. This looks like an important building. This looks like a market, etc., etc.
Do you think like every time like we're like in like almost in the same location, we immediately pass each other like before we get, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
exactly. It's like that kind of way.
It's like our little group leaves an area, and then the camera pans over, and Rosanna just enters the area.
Literally.
Yes.
And I feel like she'd probably end her own little self tour. Actually sat at this bridge.
Get on.
And unless there is anything else that you guys plan to do in or around Vogler, you are able to spend your time waiting for the service.
I think Lunaire goes home like for the time being.
Goes home,
That's
leaves you
pretty
guys
funny.
alone.
Bye.
I mean, I think he's going to get dressed. I'm gonna get dressed. It's a funeral.
Dressed.
Comes in looking greasy. Oh, you know what I want to get? Hold on. I have some coin. Could I perhaps take a trip to the market and pick up some equipment?
Such as?
A crowbar. Looks down. A crowbar.
Bitches will be breaking in.
I'm going to break into your house.
Stop! He breaks into Lunaris.
Yeah. I'm gonna break into your window like you did to the crab.
Oh my gosh, the door was locked.
What are you purchasing?
I want a crowbar.
Sure.
A crowbar. Okay, I'll move myself over here.
For breaking into people's homes.
How much is it? Shit. I wish you would say that on here. That would be very appreciative. Hold on, let me look it up.
Do you want me to look it up for you?
No, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I can find it. I can
Josh,
find
I
it. You
have
don't
a
need to
question
do
for you, just to give Holly some time.
Sure.
it.
So, if I were to buy ball bearings, right? And I drop them all around me. That's
2 gold
fine
pieces.
for me, because I don't technically have to move. However, after combat, can I pick them all back up? Can I pick my ball bearings back up?
The answer is technically yes. Doesn't mean it'll be easy.
Oh god, are you gonna see me at the market? Oh.
That would be funny.
I almost said Blaze. If you're going to get ball bearings, Darcy will accompany you. Because while you're doing shopping, Darcy is like a true hero looking for people who need assistance. Even if it's something as simple as this old lady needs to get across the road. Darcy's like, don't you worry. I'm coming for you.
You fucking runs, you sprints forward so violently. They're like almost scared.
The Scooby-Doo style visual of Blaze peacefully ambling through a market while Darcy is running from side to side, helping as many people as possible. Yeah, very cool.
You so much, kind sir, for helping me across the street.
Count my change.
No worries at all, gentle citizen. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. And she waves and continues to hobble along.
She tries to cross another street immediately.
So is she gonna get run over by a horse?
Yeah, she gets ran over. She gets fucking clobbered by a horse.
Fucking
You get run over by Rosanna running.
It's not even a horse; it's a pony.
That's really funny. Okay. So, Joshua, be honest with me. How long would it take for me to pick up 1,000 ball bearings? I need you to be honest.
Pick up 1,000 ball bearings.
Like 2
Like
hours?
counting them? And you're counting them?
Probably.
You're not gonna like it.
I would
What if I
probably
get-
say.
Like a broom. Would a broom help me?
Like one of those things they use in movie theaters where it's a broom bucket combo.
Yeah!
Okay, are you gonna buy a fucking broom and a dustpan?
What are you doing? The ball bearings cost a gold piece, but a broom and a dustpan is gonna be like 30.
Yeah.
That would be very funny.
Probably too long, but that's funny.
Probably say.
Okay. Maybe I can make a dexterity check to make it faster. Hard.
No.
I'd probably say like for 1,000 ball bearings. I would say we'll say 5 straight minutes of work.
5? That's generous.
I guess that is. I don't know.
No, be generous. I don't think the party would let me pick up 1 ball bearing, 2 ball bearing, 3 ball bearing. I don't think the party would let me do that.
Rose would fucking
So-
kill
We
you
need to get you a
immediately. I would be raging even after combat.
I would fucking kill you. I would run.
Yeah.
The sun is setting. And you find that a solid number of people are moving towards the wharf.
Oh god.
I can get back to you on that.
Levitates.
The fuck?
You guys kind of get the idea and start picking up your things, and I assume make your way around that area.
Already here, bitch.
Walks.
Declan is there and notices a number of you and kind of beckons you over and says, "Glad you made it. I encourage you to stick around. There will be a number of other people here, but like I said, you were rather close to Ispin, so I'd be glad to have you here." Meanwhile, there are other locals here mourning, many of them in small fishing craft in the nearby water. Approaching this area is another woman. She is a dwarf, dressed in far less sophisticated armor than Becklin. But they both look and smile at each other as they head towards a boat that is on the dock. Who are closest to Ispin are gathered on the dock, including yourselves, overlooking the Vingard River. There, Ispin's body rests in a small boat, his form wrapped in a white shroud. A musician plays a soft song as the knight Eklund Uthviaren steps forward in her ornate Solamnic armor. She smiles gently at those assembled, and her voice carries clearly across the water. "You all knew Ispin as a friend, and there were none like him. Before he died, he told me this: there should be tales, not tears, for an old scoundrel like me. Make sure everyone knows my stories when I head off on the greatest adventure of them all." Becklin nods. Villagers carry the boat containing Ispin's body to the dock's edge, where she and this woman, this dwarf, lower it into the water. As they do so, you notice something. There's not just a shroud there. There are also flowers. These flowers are a mix of a few, many of them white, and then you notice for some reason there are also weeds in the boat. No, dandelions. So, Eklund says, let us do just that. And the tiny vessel drifts out onto the Vingard River. On the eve of the Kingfisher Festival, we celebrate you, Ispin. Good travels, friend, till we meet again. And with that, the boat bearing Ispin's body drifts down the river, weaving between the vessels of other fishermen, and eventually out of sight. After a moment of silence, Eklund says, I would like to invite you, all of you, to the Brass Crab. I would like to hold a service for our dear friend. A reception and an opportunity to share stories about him. So, if you would join me. And she walks towards the inn, barely holding up a smile. As do most of the people here. They begin to flood the place, crowding it almost. And although I can't say I know for certain, I assume you all follow suit.
I feel like Rosanna would kind of stick behind, but kind of.
I think if Lunaire sees like Rosanna sitting behind, they're gonna like linger, like not like right next to her, but like a little bit behind.
Be nosy.
Galen don't know. Darcy would have taken off her helmet as like a way to pay respects to Isbin. She'll keep it off for the time being because she doesn't want to come off as like secretive or blah 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 weird.
Okay. In that case, all of you head inside. It's a simple affair in here, but like I said, crowded. The proprietor of this place, Yalme, you heard her name was, keeps things like bread, cheese, and local ale coming for the dozens of people here. It feels like practically everyone in the village makes an appearance. And this includes a couple of folks you have already seen along your way. Soon after things are assembled, Becklin sort of calls for everyone's attention. Hello. Yes. Thank you all for making it. As I mentioned, I would very much like to see, I guess here, I would like to see you all share as many stories as you can about our friend. I can start, surely. As far as I remember, one of Ispin's favorite stories was the tale of the time the High Sub-Senior Artillerist of Mount Nevermind, for one reason or another, launched her pet weasel all the way from the Enclave to Sankrist Island, and then decided to hire Ispin to recover the critter, or at least to note its trajectory.
That was the funniest thing I've ever. That poor fucking animal.
Eklund tells a few charming stories about Ispin, similar to that. Sort of trying to be... You get the idea she is trying to emulate the dramatics that Ispin was known for. And although it is a nice thing to see and a decent story, it's also not quite the same. That being said, it is good to hear these stories again, and she invites other people to tell stories that they have. And you guys are welcome to improvise your own tales as well. You don't have to ask me permission to say that a thing happened, as long as you think it would fit his character. If you would like some help, and also you don't have to if you don't want to. If you don't want to improvise a whole story, you don't have to. But if you would like some help, there is a D6 table of sort of like starts to a story that you guys can play off of.
Oh, that's cute.
That's very cute. Here's the thing. Blaze knew Ispin, obviously, but the main thing they talked about actually was like stories and fairy tales and stuff like that. And I'm sure that Blaze knows multiple Ispin things. Here's the problem. They can barely put together a sentence let alone several. So they sit there in silence with their fists clenched, like, I know so many! I know so many!
That's so
And they
sad.
can't say any. So, that's pretty cool.
God.
Poor thing.
Unfortunate.
Poor thing.
I do
My
not
word.
remember. I don't remember if Darcy knows Elvish.
Yes.
Question mark? Okay.
Yes, Darcy knows Elvish.
If she does, then maybe Blaze would be like, hey, I could tell, story I could tell. Elvish.
Darcy,
Translate?
Darcy would be fine helping translate your
The
story.
part that would be great about that is that Blaze speaks in a very flat intonation, even when they are speaking in Elvish. But I'm sure that Darcy would be saying it like with a lot more, let's just say,
Pizzazz.
lively energy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
However, Alex is bad at improvising, so you must merely imagine that I tell you a great tale of, I don't fucking know. What was that movie with the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man? Yeah.
Fucking Wizard of
Wizard of
Oz?
Wizard of Oz?
Tells you the Wizard of Oz.
How did you forget that?
I forgot who the wizard was.
I think that Darcy, I'm very bad at also improving, so I just give you like the rundown. I think Darcy would also share stories about Isfin, where a lot of the stories have to do with how Darcy explains it. Tales of Heroics, where Darcy would get herself into situations by trying to be a hero and help people. And Isfin would be like, alright, here I come! And Darcy, the way Darcy describes Isfin is akin to calling him like a hero.
Okay.
High five! Yeah!
Romer has in her inventory a black cloaked hood that I think they probably wore for the funeral, with the hood down, just so that it's like, look at me, I'm wearing black, it's a funeral. Just to look a bit appropriate for the scenario, I guess. However, the story that they have to tell, while perhaps stretched in various ways over the truth versus the cool parts, ends up being about, and they put their hood up and try to make it kind of funny and comedic and cool, about a story where Isfin helped him tame a vicious wild animal. And I don't have a lot of details about the story for you, but that's something that happened. They go on about it like it was this really funny, dramatic, and goofy thing. It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon, the way they describe it. But in the end, Isfin was the only reason that things ended up turning out okay. And they actually
That's very sweet.
end up saying they actually haven't seen him in quite a long time. So that's kind of one of their most recent memories of him. And there you go. Sits back down.
Yeah.
Could it be an owl bear? Could it be an owl bear? Could it be? Looks at Josh, please.
Yeah.
Could you have
Owl
tamed an owl bear?
Yeah, it can be
Good
whatever
story.
you think is
Maybe
cool.
not permanently, but
Yes. Yeah.
like he's not wandering around with you right now, but
No. That would be funny though. And the owl bear's right outside, guys.
Yeah,
Don't throw up.
you should go see.
Go see
Admission
the
is
owl bear.
$5. Hey, pay me before you go.
Funny.
Pay me before you go.
I don't know what Rosanna is, if Rosanna eventually went into the brass crab? Question mark looks at Jay with my big eyes.
Yeah, but I imagine she's sort of like tucked away in like the fucking corner and refuses
Emo
to
corner.
like is in the emo corner, refusing to say anything.
Terrible news.
Are you
I'm
laughing
also
at her
in the emo corner
stories?
with you.
Oh,
Oh my
moves
God,
away
yes.
from you.
Stands over you.
Moves
They're
away
not.
from you.
Lunaris isn't like standing in your personal space, but they're like the closest the closest individual next to you right now.
She would probably see you and move to a different corner.
Watches you leave.
Aw.
Wait, but when the moment like Rosanna starts like beginning to walk, Lunaris like pops and says, "I have a story."
Let's hear it.
Everyone turns and looks.
Looks.
You know, it was quite some time ago, but it had been an early morning. I had gotten up, the daily routine. I was about to enter my fishing vessel when Ispen had arrived, and we hadn't seen each other in a while then. So we wanted to spend some time together. But I have my job to do. So Ispen was like, "Why don't I just accompany you?" So he comes up onto my fishing vessel alongside me, and it's pretty an alright day. The sun is bright, birds, you can hear like seagulls up ahead. And it's just me and Ispen share a few laughs, and suddenly my fishing rod, it starts to shake, and great sign. I grab it, and I'm tugging, but this is something bigger than normal. I'd like to think it's tugging really hard, and I don't think I could have even. And Ispen saw I was struggling. He had grabbed onto me, and both of us at the same time are trying our best to catch this thing. And I don't need to say there's no exaggeration. It was moving our boat. So it's its own thing. It's pulling us all. It's pulling me and Ispen to the side of the boat. We're about to get flung off. Then Ispen had this clever idea of using his weapon and stabbed it into my fishing vessel as leverage, and tied us both to it. As we're being spun around in circles by this unknown fish, the fishing rod snaps, and they kind of grimace. I don't think it turns out well for us because the ship tips over. But clever thinking upon Ispen, we managed to get out, and well, I know that we all love him, but I had him pay for it.
Literally, fuck yes.
That is really good.
Thumbs up.
I like that one.
I think that most of, if not all of, the people here laugh at the end of that story.
Sam wins.
Very cool. Sam won.
Is that the last story being shared?
Looks at Rosanna.
Water's wet.
I thought my friend's gonna tell a story or no.
And
No.
you don't have to.
I
You don't
mean,
have
You do not have to.
I mean, me and Holly would be like, "Oh my god, that story would be funny." But Rosanna would not, in any situation, go up and tell a story, in any sense of the word.
It is less of
Same.
going on a stage and more that
Yeah.
everyone's kind of in a circle.
It's true, but I don't think Rosanna would say anything.
Who's just microwaving something?
Just like I feel like if anything, she's like really intently listening to every single one of these stories.
Side note, I really like our background.
During the storytelling, I think right now there's like an old fisherman who's talking about the time that Ispen helped to fix the spoke on his wagon. When you hear kind of from the sort of back end of the crowd,
Looks.
Immediately.
Everybody's head snaps over.
Creaking noise.
From your positions, I don't know if you would be able to see the source, considering the crowd that is here. But Lunaris, you think you have a pretty solid idea of who that might have been.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's that motherfucker. It's Elon Musk.
It's Elon Musk.
Holy shit.
The old man kind of clears his throat and continues with his story until eventually you hear again from the back, "We've heard this 1,000 times."
Looks.
Turns around. Look, who's saying it? Who's this person? What do they look like?
At this point, are you kind of like pushing through the crowds a bit to get a look?
Rose is also going to push through the crowds to
Darcy's
look.
so fucking huge. She just fucking
follows you.
She walks.
That is
forward
true.
and
You might
people
just be able to look over people's heads.
Wow.
Yucky. Oh my.
This young man is sat at one of the tables that has been pushed against the wall. His feet are on the table, and he is drinking from a tankard.
Approaches.
Darcy looks down at them, and she goes,
Well, I don't know who got there first. That is something that is worth noting.
What do we roll, initiative?
"Oh my fucking god!"
I guess between Darcy and Rosanna, I guess it's worth noting who would be approaching him first, how quickly you would be trying to approach him, and I guess if y'all want to also roll initiative for this, that is fine.
Nah, I think Rose would just like walk casually, but like enough to like kind of push through people. But I think Darcy would be closest to the door, so it's more likely that Darcy would make it there first. But
All right,
Rosanna
so
would be
Darcy,
close
you get
behind.
there first. As you finally get fairly close to him, you hear him sort of he takes a swig of the ale from his tankard, and you can just hear him mutter, "Best ale I've ever tasted."
"Pardon me. It seems like you're a bit bored hearing the same stories you've heard multiple times before. But I must say that is a bit disrespectful, seeing as we're kind of all sharing tales of our friend Ispin. So if you could keep it a little bit down, I would appreciate it."
Roll me, I guess, a persuasion check.
I'm looming right now. I'm looming behind Darcy. You don't even like, that's the thing, is that I'm like on the side, like
Oh
the
my
hamster,
gosh.
the picture of the hamster with behind the Coke bottle.
Oh yeah, I like that image.
Oh, that's scary. That hamster scares me.
This young man kind of scoffs and pulls his feet off the table, plunks down the tankard, and again you hear him mutter, "Ugh, nobody in Vogler can take a joke," and hefts himself off of the chair he sits in. Darcy and Rosanna, please roll me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 17. Why do you have proficient? Are you proficient? No, advantage.
What?
Advantage?
I don't.
Oh, you just rolled it
that was
twice?
for-
Oh,
persuasion
that's
check.
I see.
Got it.
Big eyes.
Big eyes.
You both hear him almost like he clearly mutters this out loud, but you get the idea that it's intended to more so be for himself. But you hear him mutter, "Best get out of Vogler soon, ogre, if you know what's good for you."
Whoa.
Who are you saying that? Who's he saying that to? To Darcy?
He pushes through the door and out of the brass crab.
I'm going after him.
Scampers up to Darcy.
Can I try to grab Rosanna's Rosanna? Is it Rosanna? Or
Rosanna.
Rosanna?
Rosanna.
Rosanna's arm. Not hard.
Yeah, she's like
Darcy
walking
just
away and you
kinda
just stop
like-
her and she looks at you fucking like
Darcy looks down at you and gives you like a kind of like a closed eye smile, like a polite little cat. And she goes, "It's not worth your time bothering with him. We're here to celebrate Ispin, right?"
She pulls her arm away and huffs and doesn't say anything.
"You're free to sit with me if you'd like. You don't have to, of course, but you seemed a little bit lonely."
I don't
"My
even
name's
know you.
Darcy." "Oh, well now you do."
Okay.
"Your acquaintance, Marcus, told me your name is Rosanna."
She doesn't say anything. She's standing there
Well,
autistically.
I like that name. It reminds me of a rose. Either way, I'm going to return to my friend. You're free to come. If not, then I'll see you around here sometime.
Walks away.
Bye. All right. Almost as
to my little retainer.
Almost as though a curse has been lifted. The moment this fucker leaves, things immediately kind of just steadily liven up more. People continue with their stories, now less so talking in a big circle, and people have kind of separated more into just an interspersed crowd. People are going about their time here at this reception, still swapping stories, having food, and enjoying one another's company.
Is this a little dock out here?
What's up?
Is this a little dock?
Yes.
I would like to sit over.
I can move you guys back to.
That's where I imagine Rosanna would be outside. Hold on. Where the fuck am I on this map?
And just
I'm not on the
pretend
map.
Pretend like there's a bunch of people here.
Just make a bunch of circles.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're not gonna like this game.
Probably like say.
Go ahead and situate yourselves however you would like.
Yes.
You're not gonna like this.
Say here.
Oh boy.
You motherfucker! Okay, okay, I'm gonna wait until you guys sit down and then I'm going to do something to you.
Okay, have fun.
Uh-oh.
There's
Are the four of you
Can we
sticking
stick together?
together, or are you doing your own thing?
We can stick together, heart, if you want. Heart.
Why not?
Oh, look, they're sitting at their little table.
Aww.
Friendship.
Friendship.
She does not have a sort of like splash art of herself as an individual. She does not have anything to work for a token. All she has is one piece of art, and you've already seen it. It's the dwarf.
Oh, the
who,
dwarf.
has a big grin on her face, and she says, "You're all Ispin's friends, right?"
Oh, that's right.
And she lets you go and plants her hands on her hips and says, "Say me, my name is, well, technically Ridamir, but most people call me Cudgel." And she pats a cudgel at her hip.
What is a cudgel?
For those of you who do not know, out of character,
I do not know.
a cudgel is effectively it is a blunt weapon. It is like a stick used for beating, but with a sort of hefty end to it, similar to a mace but less pointy.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you with my stick.
Yeah.
Darcy does this file, and she goes, It's very nice to meet another friend of Ispin. I really like your weapon.
Yeah. Well, thanks. He's been a faithful friend for quite some time. And she gives it another pat. Are you? I think I've heard a thing or two about you folk. Some people Ispin's met on his travels. Don't quite remember your names though.
My name is
God.
Darcy. This is my friend first and retainer second, Blaze. And this is our new friend, Romer.
What's up?
Well, nice to meet you all.
Marcus.
Nice to meet you. Squints
Points
as
to
I
Marcus.
immediately forgot what your weapon is called.
Me too.
Cudgel.
Are you going to be attending the festival tomorrow?
You know it. Actually, my company is gonna be participating in the reenactment tomorrow.
Oh?
Reenactment?
What happens at this festival exactly?
Huh. You never been to Vogler?
Afraid I'm a
Shakes my head.
tourist.
Me
Well.
too.
Kingfisher Festival is a pretty fun time for everyone involved. And at the very end of the festival, everyone gathers on High Hill to the north to reenact the battle that marked the beginning of Vogler, more or less. The Astarians versus the Salamnik Knights who were stationed around here. And that battle was led by a man for whom Vogler's named after. And that is where that is what we celebrate every year. Admittedly, I'm not really from here technically, but people I know are.
If Darcy could, physically, their entire body vibrate in their seat, that is what she's doing right now. She looks really excited.
Alright.
And she, clenches her hands, really excitedly, and she goes, "That sounds amazing!
I'm glad you think so.
We are
Anyone's free to
definitely going
participate.
to attend."
Oh, really?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Otherwise, I mean, the festival's a festival. It's going to be nice. I think the main event is going to be the fishing contest, as usual, but otherwise, got things like a pie eating contest. I'll probably be participating in that. Music, trinkets, merriment, food, drink, etc.
Oh, while these all sound very fun, who was that man? You know, the one that left in the big huff.
Well, yeah. That's Bakaris the Younger. Ian is been here for a while, and been a bit of a pain in everyone's necks so far as I understand.
Everyone here has been very friendly, but that one seemed a bit out of place.
Yeah, not much to do about it, as far as I'm aware. They provide good money and things like that, so it's a bit important for people here to be able to survive. They help with trade with cattlemen and such, but the downside is having to deal with that every so often.
Was he not a friend of Ispin too?
Not so far as I'm aware. I mean, I don't know how they might have interacted. Ispin never spoke of him.
I buy drinks for all my friends, including Cudgel. Do they have drinks here?
Do you make it
Isn't
known
there
that's
more?
what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Cudgel would insist upon doing that herself, as her company has gotten a pretty decent amount of funds as of late.
Oh, are you sure?
You were Ispin's friends, eh? That's all I need to hear.
Darcy does like a little dance.
Nods my head in appreciation.
Thank you.
And so you are able to get food, drink, and anything else you would deem enjoyable to acquire from an establishment such as this.
Yes! I want a slice of meat or fish.
Sure. And plenty of fish pies.
Oh yeah.
Let's go outside for a second, huh?
Oh, please. I want to see
Smiles.
this. Looks out the window.
What's going on outside?
I want to know first and foremost, does Lunaris keep looking at Rose?
No, I don't know who came out first. But Lunaris just came over to the dock, sat down, pulled up their robe a little bit, and just dipping their feet in the water.
Ballin'.
And that's it.
Fantastic.
They glanced at you like at least 2 times. Like once saying, oh, okay, look back to the sea.
Oh, okay, cool. Where should I do? I think I think Rose would do everything in her power to like look the other direction. Like literally like would go down here just to look out that way.
Watching you now. Like the moment you like start moving weirdly away, they look at you.
Yeah, sorry, Rose is now facing this way. Not interacting. Sorry.
You know, speaks up is not looking at you as well. I'm assuming you're also one of Ispin's friends.
She doesn't say anything.
And you know, we're all. It must be weird coming back here. It's all just a somber farewell, and then now just drinks and games and laughs. You know, it's weird, isn't it?
She turns around and looks at you, and she kind of looks you up and down, and
Judgy.
yeah, like kind of judgy, but is like, "Who are you?"
I'm Lunaris.
Never heard of you.
I haven't heard of you. Only till now, today.
Okay. Literally looks back away. Looks back at the ocean.
Did you want to play more quiet?
Depends if you need anything.
I don't need anything.
Then what do you want?
I like the party. I think Ispin would have appreciated us all talking about him. But I know myself personally. Death, you know, feels weird. Now we're all smiling and having fun. I just, just a moment, just to breathe, I think, would do us all some good instead.
I think this is a waste of time.
The funeral?
All of it.
Why?
Because I don't care.
I don't really believe that.
Believe what you must. That is the truth.
Stands up. Well, I believe, I believe I see somebody that needs. He takes a breath,
I don't need help.
No, I wasn't even going to suggest that.
Usually people do.
I was going to suggest perhaps you need some place quiet to sit. Because right now I can still hear the party goers.
Do you know of a spot?
Yes.
She sort of walks up to you and sort of stands there idly, as if like you clicked on Skyrim follow, but the Skyrim follower didn't say anything, and is just kind of standing there now. And is like standing at you and just waiting for you to go.
Yeah, Lunaris will just brush off their robe. I feel like for the very silly. I feel like for this funeral, they're just wearing a black robe, or just like a dark blue, whatever. And they'll just start walking. I'm just gonna go toward the bench.
I mean, easily enough, you are able to head there. It's not that far. And you are able to have a more quiet, peaceful moment.
I think Lunaris will like walk towards like where the shallow water is. You're gonna see like they don't really care that they're getting their like robe wet. They just like sit sit there.
Wet beast.
Wet something. Like they'll sit in the shallow and just like sit there with like their legs like out and like their hand like you know the sitting position I'm talking about.
Where you're sitting.
Where you're sitting and like your legs are like hold up. I'm
like
sorry,
a V
guys.
shape.
1 second. Send it to your dragon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. They'll sit like that.
Which one of you fuckers did that?
I love the soundboard. Aw, sits.
You sit. Rose literally like doesn't sit down, just kind of stands there and looks out, and she doesn't say anything more unless you are to say more to her.
Nah, I think Lunaris will just be like, here it is, sits down, sits there, and just will say nothing else.
Okay.
Zach, what the fuck?
Sorry for quacking. Sorry for party
Sorry
quacking.
for party quacking.
I'd like to know, of the people inside the brass crab, who has the highest passive perception?
Hilarious.
Oh, let's find out.
Oh, I was there.
Do not steal anything out of my pockets. I'll kill you. Mine
I find it extremely humorous that your immediate instinct is to assume that it is someone trying to steal from you.
Okay, there we go. My passive perception is a 12.
Okay. Only one of you meets this then, and that is Blaze. Blaze, you notice somebody very quietly leaving. I guess you would notice two people quietly leaving, but not like at similar times to one another. This is just like throughout the night you notice these two things. The first person you notice leave is Cudgel, who heads out during kind of like after getting in a few drinks and kind of semi-early, she takes her leave. The other person that you notice leaving is somebody who you have not seen nor interacted with before. It is an elf woman. She appears to be, you believe, Sylvanesti, and her skin and hair are icy blue.
It's the girl boss.
It's the girl boss.
You don't know how you didn't notice her before, considering how brightly colored she is, but you're noticing her now, and she quietly slips out through the door and out of sight.
One track mind.
Goodbye.
This probably gets to be a little bit annoying for our beloved Darcy, but we're not in public spaces like this a ton. So every time somebody leaves, they're like taps her on the shoulder.
Points.
And they put their hand back down. down, and they just do this every single time somebody leaves.
Alright.
Darcy looks at Blaze and goes, "Why don't you try talking to them?"
Gazes at you.
It looks like she's an elf. Try speaking Elvish with her.
They solemnly get out of their
Alright.
It's like they've been given a direction. Wanders.
Sure. Off you go. And you eventually catch up. She's not moving particularly quickly, so it's not like a chore. But you eventually catch up to this woman. And are you like trying to call out to stop her, or are you just like walking and then standing in front of her?
Okay, no. I may have a peanut for a brain, but my brain peanut's not that small. I do think that they would call out like a sort of like greetings, hello, in Elvish. It should be noted.
Of course. You do just that. And she does take notice. And as she takes notice, she stops and looks at you.
Hello, it is a pleasure to meet you. I just noticed that you were leaving. I didn't see you before. My name is Blaze. It's a pleasure. I'm afraid I haven't caught your name. And they extend a hand. Just like Darcy. Heart. Heart.
She kind of stops for a moment. But she nods and says, "Yes, my name is Lidara." And very gently takes your hand. Surprisingly so.
They shake her hand, perhaps not with the same vigor that somebody else I know does, but with like a rather, perhaps it's more like elegant, you know, like how you would shake, I don't know, a princess's hand. And they ask how she knew it's been time.
Well, you know, Ispin has traveled quite a far ways, and I, as a performer, am a bit of a traveler myself, so it was lucky happenstance that we managed to stumble across one another.
Fascinating, you perform. Are you a bard?
I suppose you could say that, yes. I am a songstress.
Truly, I also enjoy a good song. I thought it prudent to introduce myself to you. I just hadn't noticed you before. But it is nice to encounter another elf with similar hobbies.
Indeed. I'm surprised to see. Well, I presume then that you are a singer as well, or just a musician?
I really only practice as a hobby. I'm more of a tactician myself.
Interesting. A strange combination of traits. No wonder Espen liked you.
They sort of like do the universal rub the back of your neck in kind of like an implied blushing, you know? And they say the same to you. I hope the party wasn't too loud for you.
I would not say so. I simply have places to be.
Well, I wish you luck in your travels. And they do like a little tiny sort of curtsy. Yeah, I did it.
Okay.
Yeah, I interacted with an NPC.
You talked to someone, yeah.
Yes! I talked to someone like a normal person. Yes! Gonna do it, never again.
Exactly.
Scampers back to inside part.
The fact that you have 11 hit points
Okay.
scares me deeply.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
funny.
I know.
It feels like we're with Florence again. Remember that? Nice.
I'm gonna have to stand in front of you.
I'm an archer. I'm not.
Now the
supposed to be
fucking
ready to
roles are
combat.
reversed where I have to stand in front of Alex.
It's true.
Get over here.
La 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 la.
Night grows late, and eventually, Rosanna and Lunaris, you hear from a bit of a ways behind you. There you are. As approaching you and clanking in her armor is Becklin.
Looks
Stands up. Hello.
Is still standing from like 2 hours.
Mhm.
Oh my god, Jesus.
I was wondering where you were.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know if you plan to stay. If you don't, then I would like to say goodbye to you, Rosanna. I had hoped we could speak a bit more, but I understand if you have places to be.
Looks at Rosanna.
That being said, we do have a festival, and that includes the reenactment that Ispin so liked to perform in.
He did?
He did. Every year, as far as I remember, he returns to Vogler just for this festival and this reenactment. Again, I won't force you or anything, but I do insist that you stay. Not only for the festival, but something else. And at this, her smile drops, and her expression becomes more somber.
Looks. Is everything all right?
Ispin left some things behind. He specified to me that it should be the 6 of you who receive them. That being you two and the 4 that I spoke to with you earlier.
Hmm.
Do you know what
If
it
you-
is?
I do, and I would like for you to come and retrieve them tomorrow morning at Thornwall Keep, where I live. I can,
Oh, I know where that is.
I can go into further detail there and then.
Nods. Well, I suppose I'll see you tomorrow then.
Indeed. And I hope to see you as well, Rosanna. After this, she leaves, returning to the Brass Crab to present this information to the rest of you. She's got some things that Ispin wanted to leave behind to you, and asks that you stick around to retrieve them, as well as for the festival that is upcoming.
I feel like Rosanna would actually return to the brass crab with Becklin if it's like oh yeah, we're hanging,
Levitates behind you.
we're closing for the night, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just be like, okay, if we're getting a place to stay, I'm going here.
Yes. All of you have rooms available in the Brass Crab that have been paid for already, so you don't have to worry about that. Excuse me, I had to burp.
I'm sorry.
Excuse.
Otherwise,
I hope you
all
live.
you have. We'll see.
I laughed.
All you have left to do is, I suppose, tuck in for the night.
Before Lunaris leaves, he enters like the brass crab with Rosanna and Becklin, and he kind of like looks at like Marcus, Blaze, Darcy, Romer, and Rosanna, and is like, Well, it was nice to meet you all. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Absolutely.
Good night, my friend. I will see you on the morrow. Wait.
Yes. Gives a curtsy as well. I want to say Lunaris is kind of like the bottom of their robe is like dripping wet and they're getting watered.
Sloshes back into
Looks at the wet creature.
It looks like I tried to drown you.
I like that.
Okay.
Bonding.
I'm Goon 2.
I'm Goon 3.
I'm Goon 2. And this Goon, all I have to say is, so we all have separate rooms. Very kindly given to us. That's very sweet. Blaze will just stand in Darcy's room until Darcy's either like, okay, you can go to your room, bye-bye.
You are
Or
able to
until
have a shared
Darcy's
room.
like,
There are
sorry,
rooms
my
with
bad.
multiple
Sorry.
beds.
I love this.
Or until Darcy's like, you can sleep on this pillow I put on the floor. So, you have options, Al. Direct.
No, we both get our separate beds. You're allowed to sleep on a bed. You don't have to sleep on a pillow like a little cat.
Like a
my
little fucking
pet
critter.
creature.
Oh, my pet
Yeah.
ant.
I'm assuming, if I remember correctly, Blaze doesn't need to sleep. But
true.
Darcy needs to technically sleep. I like to imagine that Darcy snores a lot in her sleep.
Oh yeah.
So Blaze is just like sitting there passing the time, and you hear.
Fucking Darcy got
yeah.
sleep apnea. What's going on over there?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Stop. That's me.
No, you don't snore very loud.
Uh-oh. I fell asleep
Well-
on my desk for like 10 minutes the other day, and I woke up and Zach was like, you snored.
I mean,
really
yeah,
funny.
whenever you do fall asleep and call, I do hear you snore, but it's not very loud.
It's because I sleep with my mouth open.
I do too.
Is that normal?
No,
Okay.
but I do.
Oh. No.
That's not normal, but
Okay. Goon 2 is done. Smiles.
Me, my turn.
Goon
This-
3 now.
I sat here not saying something about this for so long because the moment passed and there was nothing I could do about it. So this is no longer me interjecting on a scene, but rather me describing me showing up late to the scene is what I was going to have happen. Is Romer thought, dang, that one lady's so depressed. I'm gonna bring her a big hunk of cartoon meat on a bone and make her feel better.
And that asked me.
Well, there was a whole
Turkey on the wall.
conversation occurring. I
I
didn't
would
want
have just
to interrupt
intruded.
it.
I would have just been like, Sam,
Oh, I was gonna.
Jay,
Let me finish.
my turn.
I was gonna wait for you guys to have a lull in conversation, but instead of having a lull in conversation, you got up and left. So what happens is Romer sees you
That's
out the
really
window,
funny.
thinks, "Oh, I'm gonna bring that poor sad lady a hunk of meat." Walks outside. You guys are gone. Stands there, and then the camera's back in the building, and she walks back in, and the bone is clean. And that's my bit.
wow.
Really cool.
Wow.
Like that.
About right.
I really like that one. Dude, Romer needs to do the
Party.
pie eating contest.
It's true.
Romer's
Romer's
the
gonna
one-
smell a
having a
pie and like
Tonka?
comedically float over to it.
Yes. Yeah, I remember when Tom
Pie on
to
the
win a
windowsill.
pie eating contest. Love
So
it.
cool.
Very good.
That's pretty
Your
good.
night
Marky.
goes peacefully.